Hello divas, dudes and dolls, I'm Caricature and welcome back to my elemental, effervescent, and essential little review show, Very Slay, where we go over each and every main stage runway look on Drag Race Espana Season 4. This week, our top 7 queens had the branding challenge where they had to do a little drag QVC situation and sell some very silly parody products in an improv scenario. And then on the runway, they had to serve the 4 elements. And I guess all of them had to do all 4 of them? So the concepts were kind of a stretch for some of these queens, but there were some really solid looks, some ones that I thought were kind of weak. Overall, I thought this was probably the weakest runway in terms of the season at this point. We are inching ever closer to the grand finale, and I could not be more excited to have another season off the books and complete. So, without further delay, let's go over how the show works. When we get into these looks, if I think that it met the brief, got the job done, but wasn't anything incredible, we give it an okay. If I absolutely adored it, we give it a slay, and if I thought it was a miss, we give it a nay. That's all in efforts to find my weekly slay of the day, my favorite look of the entire episode, and whichever look takes that top spot, I will be putting it head to head up against our current slay of the season, which currently belongs to Le Coco for her Rural Fashion Week look. Whichever look holds that top spot once we've crowned a new Spanish drag superstar, I will make an illustration out of that, and sneak peeks of that illustration and everything else I'm working on can be found over on my Patreon starting at the $3 tier level. If you saw my UK versus the World reviews, I put a little very highly covered up teaser sketch on the community tab, but my Marina Summer sketch for that season is finally up over there. It looks so good. And I cannot wait to share it with everybody once it's finished. But if you want to see the progress that happens, that's the place to do it. Along with bonus videos, because we will be doing a bonus video for this season as well for the unaired looks from all of the eliminated queens, at least the ones that they've posted. That will be coming the week after the finale airs, over on Patreon as well. But in the meantime, if you want to join further discussions on the episode as a whole, you can also join as a free member to get all of that. Those episode discussion posts are just available. There will be a doubled up one for this week and last week because I forgot to do Espana, but I did everything else. But then we'll be caught up with everything, and that's what matters most. Alrighty, with that out of the way, let's switch over and get into these looks. Alrighty, first up we have Vampirasian, who was the lucky queen holder, saving herself from being on the bottom 2 this week. And my goodness, she flopped this challenge so hard, and I really hate to see it because she's my favorite. But you know what I also hate to see? This particular runway look. I didn't like it. I didn't like really anything of it. I think the silhouette of the coat is gorgeous, and I get how it represents the earth tones, the print, the brown tones on the fur, but then she opens it up and just the lining of the coat is for fire, which is painted, but you can't really see the paint on the runway. And then she takes the coat off and she's in basically a gown version of what I wore for my UK and Down Under reviews. And then she spins around and reveals out of that, and then she's in a little corset bodysuit piece that's to represent the water. I don't think there's a really visual storytelling or consistency through all 4 of these looks. The fire just being lining is such a throwaway. I was really disappointed with this. I can't believe I'm going to do this to my diva, my icon, my fave, but I'm gonna give this look an A. I just don't think when you compare it to everything else that she's worn on the season that it holds a candle to being anywhere remotely as good. This was really just an overall flop episode for her. Then up next we have Mariana Stars. I think her having the one blue and one red eye is kind of cute. I think the gown that she starts off in is incredibly ill-fitting. I just don't think that it's all that flattering on her. The white fabric she's got wrapped around her neck and her arms to be the air, I think is such a cheap throwaway thing. I don't really know how she brought the earth in. I don't remember if she really explained that. The reveal underneath it of this corset and pants combo with this sheer fabric around it to be fire, didn't really care for it. I thought none of it really made sense together. I didn't quite understand the look, and I just think that it's overall clunky. None of it fits right. For me, I'm also gonna give this look an A. I think it's just a miss. Then up next we have someone who I was so glad to see get eliminated this week because I'm so tired of the way she treats people on the show, Angelita La Perversa, which conceptually, I thought this was quite fun. She comes out as fucking Captain Planet, and I was really intrigued by that. I thought having the planet symbol open up and be a fan that blew flower petals, that was a cool idea. I thought there were some interesting things going on with this, What I really don't like about this look, though, the hair color is wrong. I think if you're gonna do silver, that's one thing, but he's more like blue silver. And to me, this just reads gray. I wish she would have had more of the blue tone in there. I think that would have been more iconically Captain Planet. And then the eyebrows are much closer to the actual hair color than the hair she wore. But overall, my biggest gripe with this outfit is the panty, because that's like more of a feminine cut of the panty for like the red brief on the Captain Planet costume. And I wish either she had kept the really high cut and just brought it up so the brief hit the belt, or that the belt went down and like covered a little lower, or that just had been entirely redesigned. Because the way that it's cut, it makes her torso look incredibly long, and it shortens the length of her legs by comparison. I just think it throws the proportions off just enough to make me mad. And when you have a look that is so simple, where it's just a bodysuit, a lot harder to get away with things like that, because it comes down to the layout of pattern blocking or whatever on the actual garment. It was a miss for me. Conceptually, great idea, but execution, I think there could have been a lot changed to make it better. I'm gonna give this look, though, an okay, because the concept is so strong. And then up next we have Chloe Vitu, and this, in my opinion, is her best look of the competition. And what I loved about it was that she had all four of the elements like subtly in the look. Veil up in the branches, blown in the wind, I think is a really cool silhouette. It's very Alexander McQueen, which is the reference point, but it has this like really nice editorial spin to it. I loved the makeup that has like the water droplet crystal tears, to have the water in there. She's got the flowers to represent the earth. I don't think the flowers that are just kind of like stuck onto the dress were necessary, but I think having them just there, like only being in the bouquet, would have been a bit of a miss. And then the burn treatment on the gown, on the skirt on one side, I think is interesting, but I wish it would have been like more distressed. It would have come up the dress a little bit more. I think that would have helped bring it all together. But this was incredibly successful. I enjoyed this a lot. This was a slay for me. And we have up next La Niña del Antro. And if there is one thing you have to do on Drag Race, just make me instantly be like eating out of the palm of their hand, it's doing a look that is a reference to the Chimera dress by Mugler. That's my favorite piece of couture of all time. It's a look I would love to have recreated, but stylized in a way for me. But anyways, enough about that. We're talking about her look. Having the feathers for air, this blue draped fabric for the water, the green tones and the earth tones for the earth throughout the main look, and then holding the torch with the fire. Like, the performance of this look was so cool. And she's even got like the tree branch coming off of the arm and all of these like really lovely details. This is my favorite look of hers in the competition by a long shot. And I was so excited when this came around the corner. This is an immediate slay for me. Just wonderfully done. Then up next we have Maggie. It's a floral print bodysuit that an artist painted for her. They did a lovely job painting it, but it's a white bodysuit. There's really nothing going on. And then she basically just took a cage skirt and stuck it around her neck, and then put like these little plates with other paintings to represent the elements. To me, this is one of the worst executions of the theme. I think the concept is just not there. And once again, I say this almost every week with Maggie, she lacks the reference pool to really come up with an interesting idea. Like, I don't like Angelita, but at least she's got concepts most of the time, even if they're executed really poorly. Maggie just has looks that aren't executed super well most of the time, and then on top of that, her drag is just incredibly generic. And I can't stand it, especially at this point in the competition. I still don't really feel like I know who she is. She's just a drag queen, like a cookie cutter drag queen. Sometimes it kind of feels like she typed drag queen into an AI generator or ChatGPT, and then whatever came out of it, that's what she went with as her personality. Like, it just feels artificially produced. It's a nay. And then finally we have La Coco, who got her first challenge win this week, and I was so excited for her. But this first look with the Libra scales, all of this draped fabric, this white moment, this is stunning. I loved this first look. I loved the scale of it. I loved the proportion. I was interested. I was intrigued. And then she takes it off, and then she's in this like kind of ill-fitting water dress with this hair that I did not like. So immediately it was like, oh, that's disappointing. And then she does a little spiral reveal out of the water dress, and then she's in this fire corset. The fire corset piece, I like. I think that's a really cute outfit. I love that it almost has this like ruffled skirt to it. It's a cool silhouette, really well done, in my opinion. And then she comes out of that dress, and then she's in just brown fabric, and she's Lilith, and then she rubs mud on herself. The last look I don't like. The second look I don't like. The third look is good, but not amazing. And the first look I thought was incredible. I'm gonna balance this out and just give her an okay this week because I don't think that the visuals were like consistently strong throughout the whole look. She had an idea though. I'll give her that much. And that is going to be a wrap for this week, and it's now time to pick my slate of the day. And honestly, I feel like it should kind of go without saying that my favorite look of the week is going to be the one that references my favorite fashion piece of all time. That's going to go to La Niña del Antro. That being said, as much as I love and adore this look, and I would love to illustrate it, I still think that I can make a better overall illustration with Le Coco's. So I'm gonna keep Le Coco a slave this season, at least for one more week. I was tempted. I was real tempted to knock it out of that top spot. That's gonna be a wrap for Espana this week. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, all those lovely little things to keep all kinds of Drag Race and Drag TV fashion coverage in your subscription feeds. We will see you in the next one. Be sure to go out there, y'all. Stay kind, stay queer, and make sure that your day is very slay.